Viewer discretion advised. There will be scenes of eating in this video. Follow us on Twitch. And twitch.tv/Grace Students Ashland. Streaming.
That's not a thing.
Every night from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m.
No. Okay.
Call of Duty Zombies.
Do you want to pray?
Rogue Company.
Ew.
Fortnite.
Okay, do you want to pray?
Sure.
Okay. We need to welcome them.
Welcome.
Hey everybody. Welcome back to the Grace Students Ashland
podcast.
YouTube. Yeah, speaking of the podcast,
Go over and check out Grace Students podcast.
You can check it out on either anchor.fm/Grace Students Ashland or on Spotify or hopefully soon on Apple Podcast. Or if you don't know where to listen, you can see the list of where you can listen on Anchor.
And hopefully we'll get on the website soon.
Yes, it will be on our website soon. So today we are doing a bad version of a mukbang. Because usually in a mukbang you have like a bunch of food. We're just eating dinner. So really just, you're gonna eat dinner with us today and we're gonna answer some of your guys' questions.
No.
Yeah?
It's true. You wanna let them know what we're having?
Oh yeah. We're eating ham and Swiss sliders with Arby's style curly fries. So, hope you enjoy. First question. What is with all the seat discomfort? Is it comfortable, the quality, is it the style, or is it their purpose? So if you don't know, Taylor only ever wears seat discomfort. He's got it all over right now.
I've never worn it.
And this person would like to know why.
Here's the reality. It's kind of ironic that they call their merch Seek Discomfort, but it's some of the most comfortable clothing that I've ever had. It's a very multifaceted question that deserves a very multifaceted response. Back in the beginning of time,
This is taking
when clothes.
way too long.
No, let me
We
answer
have so many
the
more
question. No,
questions
just
to
let
get
the
through.
camera roll. Look at me, I drink Dr. Pepper. Come on, we're talking about Seek Discomfort here. It's comfortable merch. What the people stand for is the idea of pushing yourself outside your comfort zone and experiencing new things and taking risks. So I think both behind the quality of it, the look of it, I think they always have great designs that are simple, but they're good. And then just the philosophy behind the merchandise.
Next question. What was the most awkward thing Taylor ever did on a date?
Remember, this is going public.
Yeah, I know. I think this is hard because Taylor and I didn't go on a lot of dates when we first started dating. We hung out with other friends. So, but we used to go to Lotus every Tuesday for half price sushi. And I will insert a little clip here of this one time that Taylor, it wasn't really awkward, it was just embarrassing. He spilled his drink all over the table, all over himself.
And a white shirt on.
And it was so funny. Favorite youth group memory as both a student and a leader? As a student, I remember this one year at Snow Retreat. We had the inflatables. Greg brought the inflatables. And there was this one where you stand on pedestals and you joust people. And I was fighting everybody and taking everybody down. I was very proud of it. And then Greg was like, "You're beating everybody, whatever. And I said, "Fight me, Greg." And I wanted to face off with Greg, and he was like, "No, I can't do that. You're making this weird." And I was like, "Come on, Greg, just fight me." And so we did. In the first round, he flopped off the pedestal and let me win. And I was so mad about it and so mad at him. And I said, "You do not just stop." And I said, "If you're gonna fight me, you have to either let me win or lose fair and square. You can't just let me win." And so we fought, and he knocked me off the pedestal so hard. But anyway,
Sounds about right.
it was just my favorite because I loved forcing Greg into things that he didn't want to do. And I still love to do that. I think it's always cool. I mean, this is like the answer you expect, but I think it's just always cool to see kids like either come to know Jesus, or if they already know Jesus, have like big moments in their walk with Christ. I think that's
This is a normal occurrence.
during dinner. But I think that's like the typical leader response, but like it is really the coolest thing to like see kids make connections and figure life out and to be there for that. But it's also, I mean, I can't think of like one. Oh my gosh, okay, just kidding. I remember last year at Snow Retreat. So
She's telling me my response is
Kodak.
taking forever.
Okay, sorry. But last year at Snow Retreat, when we actually got to have it like normal, my mom accidentally she accidentally whacked Danny Jennings in the face. And she felt so horrible about it, and I just thought it was the funniest thing ever. Okay. Your
bot.
turn. Your turn.
Probably my greatest memory as a student. I talked to Greg about this a lot. It was like my sophomore year at Snow Retreat. He did an illustration with rat traps. And he blindfolded Jesse Price and led him through this maze. Everybody told him not to do it.
Cut it.
Get out of video.
Get down.
It's my video. But I think just the concept and how well he brought visually what he was talking about and keeping your focus on God and listening to God even with the distraction noise. All that. So that was probably one of my favorite memories as a student. And probably as a leader, it was about a month after I started at Grace. I did my first event, and I went to Altitude Trampoline Park, and I got everything ready. We had probably like 20, 25 kids were going, and so packed them all in the van, and we left. Well, when I went into the van, I thought it was kind of weird that there was like blankets everywhere, and there was no like back seat. There was
no seats other than the driver and the passenger.
And so I was kind of like, this is kind of awkward. But I went anyways. I didn't even think, okay, you know, I should probably like check, make
Call
sure.
somebody.
So we're...
And what's weird is that I was in the passenger seat, and we looked at each other and we're like, that's weird. And normally I would be the one to be like, is this okay? And I didn't even think about it. I was just like, all right, let's go.
Needless to say, we drove Chris's van.
Chris Swineford.
And...
we thought it was the church van.
So, no seats, transport kids. They got back safely.
And nobody got mad at us,
But that's how I started
I
off.
have another memory as a student that I just remembered.
Not loud.
Hey, you're gonna like this one.
We have to...
No, I remember when I was a student, Taylor came and spoke to us at youth one Sunday morning, and
Freaking nailed it.
he was so good.
That's right.
And obviously I say that because you're my husband now, but also I really did remember thinking it was really good.
You started daydreaming about me
No, but I was impressed.
in that moment.
No, but I was impressed. I'm a junior and I have no idea what I should do with my life. College, what I should do with my life. College or not, help. Well, the good news is that you're a junior, so you don't really have to have it figured out quite yet.
Excuse me.
I can't wait. You're...
I'm really done. Try. In all seriousness,
Okay, get it together.
I think you have to really look at is what you enjoy in life. Because I can't sit here and tell you should go to college or you should not go to college, because I don't think there's a right or wrong answer. I was the only one before my little sister that's now at Grace that ever went to college, besides my parents. Both my parents went.
But first of your siblings.
First of my siblings. My older sister didn't, my brother didn't. And so I went to college, and that didn't make me any further down the line. It didn't make me ahead of my siblings. My brother works a great job in construction, and My sister watches kids and stays at home with her kids. So, and everybody loves what they do. And so it's not that doing one or the other is what you're supposed to do. I think you really have to just ask yourself what you love in life. And if it's something that you probably should have a degree for, then I would say go to college. I think it's worth it. I'm not saying you've got to figure out what you're doing, but just figure out things you love. And if a majority of that is like, yeah, I probably need a degree, then I would go to college. But I don't think if you know what you're doing, if you don't know what you're doing, don't do it. There's not a point to go and get a bunch of debt. Figure out your life. You can go to college when you're 23. There's nothing wrong with that.
It's true.
So those are my thoughts.
I think I agree, and I think you shouldn't really let other people pressure you one way or another. You know, a lot of people are going to say, oh, college is useless. You don't need it, don't go. Others are going to say you have to go to college to get anywhere. Neither of those things are true. You can go to college if you feel that you want to do something that requires you to go to college. You can not go to college. Like, I have told people if I didn't have prior experience in the field that I went into and knew that I loved it and knew that it was something I was passionate about, and I felt strongly that I could use it down the line in ministry and somehow, which is what I wanted to do, which is like video if you don't know. But if I hadn't had that, I probably would have just like gone to cosmetology school. Not because that's easy and I think, hey, I'm talking here. Not because I think that's like, oh, an easy route, but it's another thing that I enjoy and think is fun. And that's like a trade rather than like going to college and getting a degree. So I think life is really what you make of it, and you have to find something that you're passionate about, something that you can do that gives glory to God, and that doesn't have to be in a ministry related field. Even like Taylor's dad, we were just talking about this before dinner, but like he does his own version of ministry in the field that he's in, and he's in retail. So like you don't have to be in ministry to give the glory to God in your life. So just find something you love and are passionate about, and then keep going. The next question is, what are you having for dessert? Pause for a brief intermission. Taylor's having gummy bears, which are his favorite candy, if you didn't know, and I'm having Sour Punch strawberry sour straws because these are my favorite and my like #1 pregnancy craving. What do you do or talk about on date nights? So usually we like go to dinner. Sometimes that's all we do. Sometimes like a couple weeks ago we went to the movies and then we went to dinner after. One time, and by one time I mean in December, we didn't we have dinner? No. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we had dinner and then we went and looked and drove around and like looked at Christmas lights. So we try to do fun things, but sometimes we just go to dinner and talk. Yep. So what we talk about, we like to talk about like things we don't normally talk about or like don't just normally come up. So either like the future, or one date recently I think we did like, it was either about to be the new year or just was the new year, and we talked about like things we wanted in this coming year, and we talked about like things we wanted to learn and things we wanted to try, and
dang it.
Anyway, and so we talk about a lot of like, we just have fun and we laugh, but we talk about like random stuff that we wouldn't normally talk about. The next question is, how do you spell Coda?
Our Coda is spelled Kooda, and it's not Cuda, it's Coda.
It's Coda.
There you go.
There you go. Basically, does your baby have a name or a name idea? I'm assuming they're asking, do you have a name? And if you do, can we have a like idea of what it is? So, do you like to answer this?
We do have a name. We're not telling you, but if you care to, take a guess.
The first letter is in the second half of the alphabet.
And it's not an uncommon name.
I mean,
but it's not like a name like
It's
like
not
John, that you hear all the time.
It's a girl though, so
Yeah.
that's not
So like
like Emma.
it's an uncommon name, but it's not uncommon like you've never heard of it. That's what we've been telling everybody. So we do have a name, but we're not telling you. If you can guess it, we will let you know.
What made you decide to become a youth pastor?
I think after I saw what I went through and the ways that Greg kind of led me through it, pushed me over the edge to want to get into ministry. I think just growing up as a pastor's kid, I really respected my dad, and he was in ministry for 10 years, and I always grew up saying that's something I want to do. I watched him be relational, I watched him invest in people, and so from a very young age, that's just all I wanted to do, and so I just always felt that calling on my life from a young age. And then, like I said, as I got older and went through what I went through, the struggles, the different situations, Greg really helped lead me through it, and I said I'd love to use my experiences, not in a bragging, prideful way, but just what I've gone through to hopefully help lead kids.
How long do you shower for?
5 minutes. Tops.
Probably like 15.
I ain't got time to stand in there. The only time I stand in there is either if I'm not feeling well or I'm really cold.
Okay, what was your first impression of me? I haven't been saying who these are from, but I'll say who this is from just because, obviously. This is from Max Hummel.
Honestly, you're kind of a quiet kid, and I just associate nerdy with glasses.
Oh
so
my gosh.
I probably would have thought you were a little nerdy, and
What about me? I knew Max before Taylor because I was a leader at Grace before Taylor became the youth pastor. So Max and I used to play this game where he would try and scare me when he got to youth. And if he scared me, I owed him a Reese cup. And if he didn't, like he tried but it wasn't successful, then he owed me one. And I eventually ended up owing him so many that I just had to buy him 2 1-pound Reese cups to like pay off my debt. So my first impression of Max was just that he was like silly.
silly.
Silly, yeah. Hi, bud. If you could describe yourself in 2 words, what would they be?
Incredibly awesome.
I think compassionate and
Built different as well.
that's 4 words.
No, incredibly awesome, one way to describe. Other 2 words, built different.
Did I say that?
Sorry, Georgia. I was afraid Kiddo was going to eat them.
Okay, empathetic, actually, I would say. Empathetic and encouraging are my 2. What's your plans on February 30th this year?
Probably a slow morning, with a cup of coffee, read the newspaper, get up, game with the boys, get a quick lift in, make sure I have a good breakfast too, spend time with Shannon, eat some dinner, maybe game with the boys again at night.
Anyway, not really a question, but can I get a shout out for being built different?
She's not doing anything on February 30th.
No comment.
Yeah, you're built different, Jake. You're built different.
Built different. What would you see as the number 1 deficiency in today's young believers? I think I got this. I would say a lack of confidence in the power of God and like the goodness of God, and B, but also a lack of like a sense of identity and who they are. I think they just have no idea who they are. That's mine.
The only other thing I would add is I think there's a lack of maybe courage, to be honest. I think there's a lot of people that, and rightfully so, because I think they've been hurt or burned too many times, that if I open up and I share what I'm struggling, dealing, thinking about, then I'm going to be judged or I'll just be burnt again, or my parents are going to find out.
Yeah.
And so I think there's just a lack of courage, to be honest. and I know that some of that's built in a relationship over time. You can't, not everybody can just automatically open up to somebody, but I think there needs to be kind of a push in people's lives. Because I'm not even talking about spiritually. I think people just aren't honest with each other and just saying, hey,
Or
I'm
themselves.
struggling during COVID.
They're
That's
not
okay.
honest with themselves either. Like,
Yeah.
like to say I have a problem or this is something I need to deal with, or and we try to not they try to not be honest with God,
Yeah.
even though He already knows.
Yep.
So yeah, that's good. Like they're just not honest. Okay, last question of the night. What would you feel is the greatest potential of today's youth?
Innovative. I think today's youth know how to be outside the box.
Yeah.
And they strive for it.
Yeah, I was
No.
just gonna say creative. Like this is the generation of like TikTokers and Instagrammers and all these like unique kinds of things. All these kinds of like unique jobs and unique. Taylor.
Oh, good catch. So thanks for joining us on another video. We will continue to push through. COVID's hard, but we're still trying to make hopefully some enjoyable stuff. And we'll see you guys next time on Grace Students Ashland YouTube.